maybe not as good, but there's always that stuff in there. And believe me, breeding turfgrass is not an easy thing, and it does take long time. But they realize that the most important thing to them right now in turfgrass breeding is water. And what can you water it with? We have a new grass called Seashore Paspalum that can be watered with incredibly high salt content, and it has no problems with it. And that's been a big plus for it. It does not grow in this area, but it's a big turf grass use now suddenly in Florida, Hawaii, where we can take bad water, use it, and actually filtrate it through a golf course. A little bit of turf grass magic. This is called the sub-air system. This is what we use on our greens at CCR. And what it does, it actually blows air into the drainage systems, and the air escapes through little small holes, and it actually moves up through the soil surface and takes the cold air and takes the water vapor and moves it back up, and it's basically just like turning on the irrigation system. So we can actually go 4 or 5 days, no irrigation, turn the sub-air units on, get another day or two before we actually have to turn the irrigation on. So big water savings. I don't want to cover too much turf grass magic, but this is always kind of an interesting thing when I tell some people I spray seaweed on the grass. They go, "What? Seaweed?" Well, there's a plant compound called the cytokinin that is actually a stress compound in the plant. And in the summertime, when it's under stress, its levels decrease. So we actually put it on foliar-wise, and we can make the turf a little more drought tolerant. So it's just another one of those little turf grass magic things that we do. We're looking at putting a new irrigation system at our golf course sometime. We actually have started to some degree. We've put in our pump station. Right now it's temporarily on hold, but target irrigation is kind of important. I think you've heard that before. That's watering only what you want. You know, as a homeowner, you know, you should probably audit your irrigation system yourself. If it hits your driveway, not a good thing. Driveway doesn't need any water. If my irrigation system hits the cart path, not a good thing. Waste of water. Need to take care of that. So target irrigation, increase efficiency. There's been some great technology with actually nozzles and uniform, how sprinklers work. I don't want to get too technical, but it's really nice. And we're looking at decreasing our acres of watered turf. And I think that's somebody that homeowners can do that, golf courses can do that, parks can do that. We may have a point where we have to do that. So it's a good time to actually start thinking. And in the long run, this is actually what it does for us. Appreciate your time. I'll let our next speaker come up, and we'll wait at the end for questions. Thank you.
Good evening. I am Nate Jordan, and I am starting my 3rd year as an assistant superintendent at Arrowhead. I've been out in the Valley now for about 5 years. I was here for some summer internships and have attended various WaterWise Wednesday presentations. So when I saw we had the opportunity to present ourselves, I was rather happy about that. Tonight, I'll be speaking in regards to the benefits of turfgrass, more as it affects all of us on a daily basis and not in terms of a golf course application per se. So hopefully you can think of some things that maybe you hadn't considered before and rethink the impact that this plant, as small as it is, does have on our daily lives. I've broken this into 5 categories as it pertains to water and air quality, erosion, our climate, our health and wellness, and then finally kind of a miscellaneous category with some random items. In terms of water quality, with all of our impervious surfaces we have around us, whether it's rooftops, parking lots, I-70, we have mag chloride, oil drips from vehicles, all of that's being captured on those surfaces. And with the presence of snow melt or our rainfall, as infrequent as it may be, those materials are going to be washed from the hard surface, and they're going to travel somewhere, eventually into some sort of collection system. And it's our hope that between the runoff period and before it enters our water sources, that it's going to encounter our turfgrass plant. And with that, we're going to have some filtration as a result of the root structure of the turfgrass. It's a very fibrous structure, much different than that of, say, a tree that grows. It looks like a massive cobweb of varying directions. So as that happens, we have a lot of little organisms that are living in the soil, and it's providing the breakdown of those materials that were once up on our hard surfaces. And as the water may enter groundwater aquifers or rivers or ponds, it will be cleaner than had it just gone directly from the hard surface to the water. So this in-between zone provides a means of cleansing. As we head over to air quality, turfgrass is just a small part of the oxygen production that we utilize each day among other green plants. And through the process of photosynthesis that the plant's using to create carbohydrates for its own life cycle, it's taking in carbon dioxide among air and sunlight to create those carbohydrates. And it's interesting to note that a 50 by 50 area provides enough oxygen for 4 people to breathe for one day. This is a turfgrass area. And that 1 acre will provide oxygen for up to 64 people. So not only is it taking in the CO2, the output, something we all need, and it does not take a lot of area to provide for our daily lives. As well, there's a tremendous amount of airborne particles that are created throughout industry processes on a daily basis, auto use, construction, whatever it might be, and due to the carpet-like structure of the turfgrass plant, that can act as a collection area for those particles and remove it. It's known that about 12 million tons of dust in the United States is captured each year as a result of the turfgrass plant. To follow, the burning of fossil fuels create various byproducts, 2 of which, nitrogen oxide and sulfur dioxide, are collected by the plant tissue and broken down by the leaf structure, and removing those from the air that we are consuming. This here is a very big factor for the benefit of turfgrass and rather all plant matter. And in areas such as ours with the arid climate, that at times is difficult. It only takes a quick look down I-70 and you see a lot of bare space. Erosion occurs through a wide range of methods, but the 2 primary are through wind and water. And with the turfgrass plant and other vegetation, the root structure stabilizes the soil and prevents it from sliding with the contact or influence of an outside force. And when those outside forces are presented, it slows down that movement so that the outcomes won't be as great. In the lower photos, this dates back a few years ago. A mudslide had occurred on the north side of I-70, traveled across the highway, and the deposits were left on one of our cart paths. The bridge on the right, beneath that's the Eagle River. So where is that debris going had we not cleaned it up? And this is just a very small example of the impacts erosion will provide if vegetation is not present. In terms of the climate, we hear a lot about it today and the potential warming effect. With the presence of turfgrass and other vegetative material in a home lawn, it helps to cool that area. And it's thought that the temperature could be 7 to 14 degrees cooler in an area with live plant matter when compared to one that doesn't. And this occurs through a couple of processes, one being the shading effect, such as those of trees, and then back to our evapotranspiration, which is the water loss through the plant, and it acts kind of how the sweating effect of a human provides cooling. It's taking heat from an outside source, thus cooling it. And when you compare an urban area that has very little green space to that of a rural area which has